Broadcasting from the beautiful Great Lakes state of Michigan, I'm Tom Bartholomew, your host of the Michigan Contractor Show. And I worked in the construction industry for over 25 years. I started on a job site when I was 14, working for my dad on a vinyl siding job. Now I spend all my time running a digital marketing agency where I help contractors and companies in the skilled trade promote their business and reach customers in ways they never thought possible. Again, my name is Tom, and let's get to today's guest. My guest today from Spencer & Sons Construction is out of Brighton. And when people from Brighton want to turn their current home into the home of their dreams, they definitely turn to this company. They have years of experience in the home improvement and remodeling industries and are confident that they can create the space you've always wanted. From a new kitchen for your family to gather in or a master bathroom fit for a king, they do it all. I want to welcome to the show today John and his daughter-in-law, Rosie Spencer. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, John, why don't you tell us about Spencer & Sons Construction?
Okay. Well, Spencer & Sons Construction started in 2002, really born out of just a desire to, own my own business. And the second portion of that is just a passion for this type of work and working with my hands and being able to bring projects to life and see the fruits of your labor, before you. So that's where we started. Started with all three of my sons. One of them at a very young age. I have three sons. They all worked with us to get the business started. A couple of them have since got degrees in other fields and have moved on. And my oldest son, Niles, continues to work with us and manage our crews out in the field for the company. So that's where we started. Again, we've been in business since 2002, and we're a full service company from custom homes through additions, any portion thereof from the ground up, we can get it done. So,
well, I think that is wonderful. And what I heard you say is that you've been in business since 2002 is when you started Spencer & Sons Construction with your family. And my question about that is, you saw the downturn or the bubble burst in 2008, and obviously you've made it through that. Tell me about what happened in 2008 and how you were able to make it through that where other builders didn't.
Well, 2008, as we all know, was a very interesting and trying time. And so we just kept our focus on being full service, every facet of building. And so through 2008 and then beyond, we have just been able to be flexible with what we do. So, obviously 2008 was a tough time and people were spending money on only the bare necessities. And so for us, that meant we just did a lot of roofing jobs. You got to fix your roof when it leaks or your investment, is going to waste away on you. So that's what kept us going. That's what, paid the bills and fed the family. And so we pride ourselves in the fact that we are flexible. We can move with the times, whatever that dictates. And so we see an ebb and flow of business. Again, back then it was all roofs and we had to do that to make ends meet. And, the repairs, somebody has plumbing leaks, et cetera, we would take care of those as well. But, and so then from there, when we came out of all that, again, staying flexible, we then migrate to what we enjoy doing and what we are efficient at. But again, knowing that we can do just about everything. So that was our 2008 and a little bit into 2009. And then we came out of that in a pretty good shape, still with our feet on the ground. And then it seemed like the next wave was the kitchen remodels as people started getting, footing underneath themselves. So that brought us to really being, dealers for cabinet companies and really being specialists in kitchen remodeling. That's where we really excel.
I like that. I like that because I talk a lot of my customers about getting a niche, finding out what they're best at, and it's easy to reach those customers. But from what I heard from you right now is by not necessarily having a niche at that time or a specialization, that you were able to weather the storm of 2008, 2009, that difficult time for many contractors, and you were able to make it through that by doing a lot what was necessary, whatever people were doing. And I was doing construction then, and I did a lot of roofs as well in that same time frame. Yes, because people were only spending what they had to, and if that was a leaky roof a lot of times, and that was where their money was going. So I can understand that. Yeah. Well, so now you're doing more kitchens. Tell me what kind of got you into the kitchens, or what you like about that area versus doing other parts of construction.
Yeah, so I think for us, the benefit of the kitchens, and the most satisfying part of the kitchens, is really the wow factor to the customer. All the guys, as well as the office staff, we really enjoy having someone come in, with a so to speak, a blank stare on their face, just knowing that they want to, enhance their environment. And people spend an enormous amount of time in their kitchens. And so to actually start with that on paper, help them through the whole selection process, and then see it come to life. And just, again, many of our customers, that the wow is not, a metaphor for something. They actually say, wow, it's like, wow, look at what has been created. So that's very rewarding for all of us. And I just enjoy that. That's where I get my juice, so to speak. So we can frame a house too, but no one really gets excited about stud framing, So we enjoy the kitchens the most, and that's what kept us migrating towards that. So.
Well, I think that's great. Now, looking at your backdrop there, it looks like you guys have a showroom. And I know we talked about that before, and that you have a showroom right there in Brighton. Tell me more about your showroom and what you do there or offer.
Yeah, so we don't necessarily term it a showroom as much as a kind of a selection center. We have an office space that we've kind of converted. We ended up partnering with our granite fabricator. He's been doing our fabrication since we started business back in 2002, Daniel Tiling Company. And so he used the back space for his fabrication, and the front space he was just essentially paying for and not using. And so it worked real well to partner with him. He came to me and said, hey, if you came in here, I think we'd have a great relationship. And took us a little while to get through that and for me to feel comfortable. And he kept encouraging me that this would be a good relationship. So about 2 years ago, we moved into the space. Figured if we just did our normal business out of here, but had an office to work out of, that would remove it from the home. It's since turned into quite an advantage for both us and the customers. So now a customer can come in, we can draw up their kitchen, let's say, put it up on the TV screen, show them everything live with the 2020 program, walk them through cabinet door selections, countertop selections, paint colors, all those types of things that in the past I had to load up the truck and take to their home. And so it's been a real good relationship, and it helps bring a little more trust, if you will, from our customers. They have a physical place to walk into and know that we're here to stay, so to speak. So.
Well, I love that. I love the fact that somebody you were working with as a supplier since 2002, since you started, got to know you well enough and said, hey, John, I think I have some space here. Why don't you set up shop? So he had that much trust in you, and you guys had such a good working relationship. And he said, hey, let's use my space here, and it'll be beneficial for both of us. I love that idea of partnering with someone, and it just helps with business. It takes off a lot of the pressure off you for finding a building. It was there for you. I think that is great. So you've been there for 2 years. How easy? Tell us how to find you right there in Brighton.
Well, the good news for anybody who's familiar with Brighton, we have a super location, I feel. We are directly across from the Salvation Army in Brighton on Grand River, and we are directly next to the east of the Roller-Rama roller rink. So in that group of suites right there, you can't hardly miss us. Our new sign's up. It says Kitchen and Bath Selection and Design. And We have a vehicle parked out front with a slab of granite in it, so you can see that we have granite here as well. So we're right in that stretch where Bright Stone is, Salvation Army, roll around. So
That sounds like a great location. Sounds like better than going to a big box store where I could just come and park in front of your place in your parking lot and walk around to some other areas and maybe even do a little roller skating while I'm right there.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, we like to go there every now and then.
Yes. So I'd like to hear from Rosie a little bit. Rosie, can you tell us what you do for Spencer and Sons Construction?
Well, I've had no background in construction. This is my father-in-law, obviously, and my husband runs the crews. And they kind of asked me, hey, you want to come in and work with John? And growing up, I never saw myself in construction at all. It was a little bit slow at first for me. I was used to a lot faster pace, and John just kept assuring me, stick with it. It's going to be fine. If you fail at this, it's my fault, is what he used to tell me. And yeah, it's going to feel slow right now, and it's going to take off. And he was absolutely right. Now it is busy. So I kind of get to head off the traffic that walks in to see us. I love when somebody walks in, maybe a little unsure, a little like intimidated about what they're doing, and helping them get, their dream kitchen or space at their budget, whatever price point they're looking for. I love not trying to sell them the most expensive, item that we have in the showroom. I get to handle the day-to-day schedules for John and the employees, a little bit of payroll. John didn't have as many systems in place when I came on. For example, my husband used to keep track of the hours with, paper and pencil in the truck. And so I kind of did some searching and came up with found this really good app. It's called Sync, SINC. It tracks their hours. Employees can punch in from their phone. It tracks cost codes, which saves a ton of money with insurance. You can put up the schedule on there. The newest option that they have on there, actually, you can link your payroll right to it if you choose to do that. It's just been a great app. It's been very user friendly. And as far as the support, anytime I've had a question or a problem or a suggestion, they respond within 5 minutes, which is nice. So that's been fun. And then, I kind of incorporated Google Docs a lot. We use that like crazy. It's a little bit like Word, but I've got docs on there for our punch list. The guys can see it out in the field. They can make changes to it, get all the customer information. For us in the office, we have several apps that we communicate through. The girls can record on there and, hey, Rosie, we're out of staples, so get those ordered or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's great. It sounds like you do a lot there for the showroom for when people come in, and so when somebody comes in, they're going to see your smiling face and you're going to be greeting them and helping them out, even if they don't know what they're doing, which a lot of people don't. I don't always know what I'm doing, so I know I would need a lot of help. So that's great that you do that, and it really gives it that personalization. So I'm sure that's wonderful. I like how you talked about Sync and how now you said that saves you a lot of money. Can you go kind of give some contractors that maybe don't, they were just sending you, writing it down, or these are our hours this week. How is that saving you money? Let us know about that.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, so a couple of things that I can add to that as far as saving money is, first of all, as we all know, insurance costs are one of the big ticket items for us contractors. And so in that sync program, the employees can actually punch in under their job code, specifically putting their hours to exactly what they're doing. So I mentioned earlier, we frame houses, we do kitchens. So when we're in exterior carpentry, we get charged a different insurance rate for our workers' comp and liability than we would if we're interior carpentry. If we're in the office, it's a different rate than if you're hanging drywall. So we're able to punch in with a job code that directly correlates to our insurance rates and our insurance job code. So that's a huge money saver, where we used to be just charged overall because we couldn't prove what we were doing, so to speak. So we would just be charged as an exterior carpenter, which is what we used to do mostly when we first got started. In addition, there is a GPS function in that Sync app. So, I trust my employees. It's not that I need to track them, but it allows Rosie to follow up as to where there are and to manage those hours, and she'll know, hey, based on that and based on our, Google Docs, what job is where. She knows what they're doing for them, so she can help adjust the actual job code and function. Not to mention, it's accurate. So I know when you're punching in. I get sent a text when someone punches in, punches out. So, again, we're all trustworthy, but it's, in any business, it's checks and balances, and we keep each other checked and balanced. So it's accurate and it's time saver. We're not losing 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, a half hour here because it's poorly tracked on paper, so.
I can definitely see where that would be a large cost saver, because you're correct. Workers' comp does charge you by what you're doing. Because if you're inside running a little bit of trim, they're not going to charge you as much as if you're out on a scaffold or a roof.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So what a great tip for all the contractors out there, whether they use Sync or they use any type of a time tracking app, because I'm sure there's others as well, that way they can keep track of what you're doing for the workers' comp. No, I think that's wonderful. Saving a lot of money, I'm sure, there.
Yeah. And additionally, if I could, Tom, with the Google Docs, any type of interactive document that you can use has been beneficial. We even share that with our customers. So when our employees, get their job assignments, they can look up and see, so Greg might not have been at this job for the last 2 days. Now he's going there for the first time, and he can see what's left on the punch list. So we're more efficient. We have the materials and tools that we need to do the specific work that they're going there to do, as well as we encourage our customers to join in with that. So as we're winding up a job and getting the last few things taken care of, we don't miss something and now we have to make another trip. So that's been very valuable. Those two things together have just saved us a ton of money in waste, if you will. So.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. A lot of wasted time. And I know that the Google Docs, that's great. You had mentioned that you have like a punch list. So when you're finishing up a job, it's not just, hey, are you happy, to the customer? And they go, yeah, we're happy. And then a little while later, they go, oh, we missed this. You have a punch list that you put on the Google Docs. So when you're there and you can go, oh, here's our punch list. You let the customer see it. I think that those are great time savers and ways to really provide a great touch. And there's something I want to point out to people here. And we talked about it a little bit on our first call, but I want to point out that you talked about, you have a lot of family that that are working for you and that has worked. I mean, right here is your, Rosie is working for you. And tell me a little bit more about the family aspect of your business.
Yeah, so I come from a large family, and a lot of my nephews, nieces have gone through the business. And essentially, even the folks that are not family, I mean, what we promote to the prospective employee is that we are a family business. We want to run it like a family business. We want you to have your time off. If you need to go with your wife to the doctor on Wednesday at noon, okay, I'm good with that. Go ahead and let me know. We'll accommodate that. And so then that carries over into how we treat our customers and deal with our customers. I mean, we want to be what I always refer to as married to our jobs. So with saying that, it takes a lot in terms of the employees. They all know the code to get into my house. They have keys to the office. They have keys to my vehicles. They can get into the shop. And, essentially I trust them like family, whether they're family or not. So our values are really just family based first. And I want to be able to see the employees out in public and see our customers out in public and walk up to them and say hi, and you're still enjoying your addition or your kitchen, and so that's kind of where we're at in terms of how we run our business. We're pretty low pressure. Customers come in, we just want you to have what you want, and I have not figured out how to say this. I'd take any advice you have, but I typically would share with the customer, I don't care what you do. I'm just here to provide the end result that you want. I'm not here to sell you anything. We want to get paid for what we do, and what we don't do, we don't get paid for. So anyway, a long roundabout way to say that all started with the core of just family and how do I want to be treated as a family member,
I think that what that does, John, is points towards your great leadership style. Because I've worked in family businesses before and seen family businesses where families don't want to work in that business because of the leader or the environment or whatnot. And what that does for you as a construction company, I think that it really shows that if you have that kind of leadership style where your family wants to work for you as well as, other people, then that tells a lot about your crew and your quality and what the customer is going to experience as well. So I think kudos to you for doing that. I think that's wonderful.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
So one thing that I would really like to know about is, we had talked before and you had said you have some pretty strict job site etiquette. I'd like to know a little bit more about that, like how, what your crew, what to expect. If I were to hire you, what am I going to get?
Okay. Well, yeah, it's simple, but it's important to us. Again, when I started the company, the construction industry can sometimes have a bad rap. And you see, on TV and they're chasing down the contractor who, is taking advantage of the customer, et cetera. So it all started from being a consumer and having people out to my house, and let's say it's lunchtime and they all pack up in the truck and they head out, and you stand there looking out the window wondering, are they coming back? Where are they at? Where they go for lunch, et cetera. So just a few things. I mean, we provide all of our employees with, Spencer and Sons garb, if you will. That we wear on the job sites. I require that the employees all bag a lunch so that they're not leaving the job site. I in turn pay them for lunch, so they're expected to take the break that they need, get the nourishment they need, make the phone calls that they need to make, and then get back to work. And we don't allow any tobacco use, smoking, or chew, or anything like that on the job site. We do not allow any tools left on the job site. We want that job site to be as if we were never there, with the exception of what's changed physically in your environment. I strongly believe that no matter what the customer, feels, they're still going to go into that space every single day when they get home from work to see what's going on. I mean, they're curious. They're making an investment. They're also excited and they want to be in there. So it doesn't matter if it's a new home we're building and it's rough framing, or if it's doing your kitchen. We are going to shop back, sweep up, clean up, take all our tools with us. We don't leave a trailer. We don't leave anything on site. We basically, we want you to know that it's still your home and we're here to provide a service to you. So those are a few of the things that we do to ensure that when we get there, we're working, we're maximizing our time, and we get out, So in addition to that, as far as the consumer is concerned and what they can expect, all the guys are super professional, as well as the staff here in the office. And we believe in the old model that the customer's always right. We're here to serve you. And that's how we are. So everyone has their own opinion. They all got thoughts and ideas about where you should put a light or what you should do here or there. We share those with you, and when you tell us what your decision is, that's what you get, So I believe strongly, and I think all the guys do as well, that we're here for a limited period of time. You've got to live with it for the next 20 years. So that's kind of how we approach, dealing with the consumers. So.
Well, I think that those are great things that you have implemented. Again, it talks about your leadership style. You remember people, working at your house and getting in their truck and wondering where the heck they were going. So you want to make sure you didn't have that type of experience. So you pay them for their lunch, which is great. Most companies don't do that. And you have them bring their brown bag. I'm sure you tell them right when you hire them, hey, we brown bag it.
Yeah.
There's no going to McDonald's. Yeah. We brown bag it. Yes. No, I think that's great. I think that is amazing. And I think that, again, you're providing a great service for the consumer to build that trust with the consumer. And I think all the things you have in place there, from when they first walk in and get to see Rosie smiling at them and helping them out with anything or any questions they may have, all the way down to you're cleaning up every day on the job site and there's no tobacco use, no profanity. My guys are there professional. They wear Spencer and Sons Construction labeled clothing like your shirt there. You just run a real professional crew. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That is one of the things I'm probably most proud of in all that we've done. I mean, seeing the jobs come to life is great, but we do get a lot of feedback from our customers about the integrity that they see from everyone from the minute they come into the office and meet Rosie and the staff to the guys out in the field. And because of that, also, the occasional time when we're not taking care of that business, we get that feedback that, hey, this one individual might not be fit your team. So, and we're welcoming that as well. So, because that's most important, going back to the family environment. I tell all the prospective employees, we do an on-the-job evaluation as well, where you get paid, but you come and work with us for 3 days a week and see if it really is what you want, and we get to work with you and see if you really fit, our molds, so that's kind of where we drive,
Well, that brings me to my next question is people, contractors are watching this show, and maybe there's somebody that is in your area interested in finding a job. Is that something that you are looking right now?
Oh yeah, we're always looking to hire. We take on all the business that we have the resources to complete, and so we are able to and willing. My management background allows me to say it with confidence. I mean, I can have as many employees on staff that fit the mold. So we are always looking to hire, period.
So when you say fit the mold, what are your requirements when somebody, let's say I was going to come to you and I call and I probably talk to Rosie and set up to bring in my application or an interview. What are the skills or traits that you're looking for in a person?
So the skills are somewhat, I'm not looking for any special skills. You don't have to have any background whatsoever. I'm looking for people that I guess are leaders or future leaders, self-motivators, are able to manage themselves in a professional way. I didn't know anything about this business when I got started. I had an interest and a passion, but I believe that it's all teachable, and that if you care and you pay attention to detail, we can provide you the skill set that you need to be successful. You have to have the drive, the desire, the interest, to truly satisfy the customer. And even to the point where you learn that, what is right and wrong, and you do it whether the customer notices or not. There's times when I've had things redone because it's not good enough, then the customer hasn't even noticed, So we don't require any experience. If you got experience, that's great. But we're interested in your integrity and who you are as a person, and we can teach you what you need to know.
I love that, and I think that that's a big testament again to you. Hire for character, not for skill. That's how I've heard that before. Exactly. So I think that's a great way to do it. You can always teach skill. It's hard to teach character. I think that's something that people have ingrained in them at some point in time. Yes. Well, is there anything else that you would like? Anything else you would like the people watching or listening to know about Spencer and Sons? I do know that they could find you online at spencerandsonsconstruction.com. Anything else that you would like to tell us about your company?
No, I think we've kind of covered. I think in closing, for us and for all those that might be looking out there, we really enjoy what we do. We look forward to seeing the next client and bringing their project to life, regardless of what it is. And we will work with you to make that happen for you within the budget you have available. And that's really, and again, we're married to our clients. Once we sign up with them, we're on board for life.
Well, I think that is great. And again, Go on over to Spencer and Sons Construction.com. Check them out. If you're down in Brighton, stop into the showroom. Say hi to Rosie. She'll be there to greet you. Thank you, John and Rosie, for being on my show today. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, and if you out there liked this episode, go ahead and let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up or a rating. Check out John and Rosie down there in Brighton, and we'll put a new episode out every Tuesday. Check us out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you would like to be a guest on the Michigan Contractor Show, head on over to michigancontractorshow.com. Fill out the form. I'll get back to you and we'll find the best date and time for you to appear on the episode. Check us out. We'll see you next Tuesday.